Today we're going to take a first run in the Brooks Launch GTS 9. It's the go-to support version of the Launch. We'll have a written review of the regular one. It has a 36 millimeter heel, 26 millimeter forefoot. It gets a new Creel Warp upper, which we've found already very comfortable, and a new green rubber outsole, which I think is a bit softer. In big news, it gets 2 millimeters more stack height to 36.26, and its weight drops considerably. So this makes the Launch into what we expect to be a more kind of general daily trainer type of shoe. Hello everybody, Sam from Road Trail Run. Today we're going to take a look at the Brooks Launch GTS 9. There's also a non-GTS or go-to support version we'll be reviewing. But this is Brooks's light trainer. The Launch has been around for quite a while. Here we see some pretty significant changes in the stack height of the midsole as we gain 2 millimeters more stack height over version 8. Yet we lose quite a bit of weight. We go down, we'll be at 8.68 ounces, 246 grams US 9. That's the sample in the GTS, and 8.11 ounces, 230 grams in the non-go-to support. In the Launch 8 GTS was approximately 9.1 ounces, 258 grams. So we lose a very healthy 12 grams. Now, how did Brooks do that? We're not too sure, but we do have a new Creel Warp upper here, which is a kind of it's an engineered mesh of some kind. It's quite thin, but not super thin, quite dense. I've tried them on. This is a half size up from my normal 8.5, and they are a bit long, so I think they'll be true to size. We've got moderately stiff extensive toe bumper. The tongue is now not as plush kind of as before, but with some really neat little pads here. I think the tongue's gonna work well. That's kind of typical nowadays of the tongue. We've got some kind of molded element here over the moderately stiff but not super stiff heel counter. And underfoot, we have what Brooks calls green rubber, which I think may contribute to the weight loss. I'm sure it'll be durable, but it is a different kind of rubber arrangement, roughly the same outsole pattern as before. Now, as the go-to support version, I'm going to take them out on a run. I usually don't run in support type shoes, but this one wasn't bad in the 8. Over on the lateral side, we have kind of raised sidewalls of exactly the same foam Biomogo as in the midsole. Don't know yet if the midsole is softer or firmer, but we'll get to that soon. And on the lateral side, as with all GTS shoes, including the glycerin, we'll also be testing soon, we have a co-molded piece here. So it's molded in of slightly firmer foam than the main midsole. Now, why does Brooks do guide rails? Well, they're a bit for pronation control, but also they're to stabilize the knee. So they serve that purpose as much as pronation control, because many injuries come from the knee. So this is now a pretty decent stack height with the 2 millimeters more. I get about 36.26, so it's still a 10 millimeter drop. So we've got quite a bit more cushion here at 2 millimeters more. We're going to see how it runs. In terms of weight, it's right in the hunt, given that it's even in the GTS is well under 9 ounces, and the regular non-GTS is 8.11 ounces, 230 grams. So now I'm going to take them out for a run, tell you how they fit on the run and how they ride. Stay tuned. So moving along in beautiful Park City Mountain. Can't quite see it, but the canyons. I'm going to keep going. Okay, let's talk a bit about the fit of our Launch GTS 9. So as I said, I'm a half size up from my normal. They're clearly a bit long, but not in the way of running, because the rest of the upper is very, very secure. It's got a kind of all of a piece fit here. There's no gusset tongue. Creel wrap mesh just really secure fit. Heel hold is great, no problems there. Across the midfoot, no gusset, just the logos. The tongue holds things together well. Could be maybe a touch more padded. In terms of the mesh itself, let me show you. There's my toe. It almost looks like it may, there's some shiny elements, like it may have some mono mesh in it, which doesn't stretch, because it doesn't feel like this is an upper that's going to stretch and get baggy. In terms of breathability, I don't think the best. I'll show you a picture of what they look like from the inside. You can see. So on the inside, we have longitudinal lines, a little bit of structure, to which the outer mesh is woven in varying densities. Tell you more about the ride in a bit. Okay, back from my first run in our Launch GTS 9. First, let's talk about the guide rails. Over the versions of shoes from Brooks with guide rails, they have gotten softer, less noticeable. I'd have to say today, I really didn't even notice them at all. Yeah, there's something there, but there's no harsh, firm, sharp plastic piece. And also, I think because we may be a bit softer in the midsole and via the green rubber, there's no sensation of a post either, because there isn't one. So this new approach here, I guess it's a new approach, seems to blend very well with the rest of the midsole for me as more a neutral runner. Now, they got nice and flexible. As you can see, very decently flexible. In terms of the ride, yeah, we got 2 millimeters more stack height and this green rubber outsole. So I think, to me, they feel they're still kind of a firm ride, but there's a touch more bounce. There's definitely more cushion and kind of impact, shock absorption at the heel, and very nice through the forefoot. But then, as you can see, it gets a little thinner here for toe off. You have a nice toe off. Feels a bit thinner way up in front. But all in all, really kind of an improved overall ride here for the GTS version. I remember last year's version, there was much more of a kind of a distinction between the midsole and the guide rails. Here, not so much. In terms of the upper, this is one fabulous little upper. The hold is great, very smooth over the whole foot, very secure, very comfortable. And you've got essentially 4 holes to kind of micro adjust how you want to lace them up. I do think the tongue might use a touch more padding, but really not a big issue. I kind of doubt they're going to be super breathable. It's in the 40s here. My feet weren't warm, but they definitely weren't breathing through the wind. As you can see, maybe there are longitudinal lines on the inside, and then I guess the outer is woven into that. Maybe that's what they mean by Creel Wrap or Warp. But it really makes for a really comfortable upper. Oh my goodness. No pressure in the toe box. Remember, I'm a half size longer than my normal. I would be for sure true to size. So where do I see it fitting in? Well, I think it's an excellent choice for the high school or college runner who wants a durable all-around shoe. It's also a really good option for those that want a little bit of light stability in a shoe that's here about 8.6 ounces in the GTS version, 8.1 ounces in the regular version, so light. We got that 36-26 stack height of relatively firm, but now with a bit of bounce. So this is kind of lighter daily training class kind of shoe. And of course, it's $110. That's up a bit from where they were at $100, but I think well worth it. So I think it'll be a great value. I think our green rubber will be very durable. It's an extremely quiet shoe. So it's just an all-around kind of lighter, more responsive daily trainer of the kind of lighter variety, with a bit more snap, a bit more kind of quiet smoothness, and a bit more cushioning than its predecessor. So it's still in the hunt. So, in terms of some Brooks comparisons, if you want kind of a softer, more mellow ride, you would go with the Ghost 14. And if you want to go max cushion in Brooks, the new supercritical V-Loft V3 glycerin coming in July. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and have a great run. We'll have a full multi-test review of both launch over at Road Trail Run real soon.